Yo, good morning, GMG. As always, I hope everybody's having a great day. I know it's pretty early, so I mean, whether it's great or not already, you know what I'm saying? If it's great, good. If it's not, oh well. But yeah, I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekends. We did have a nice weekend. It was nice and sunny outside, and we got some things done, so that was cool. But we do have a week ahead of us full of rain, so that's not good. That's shitty, but you know what I'm saying? We take the good, we take the bad, right? So we're ready for the trading week anyways. We really don't care what it's going to look like out there this week, all right? Now, with all that out of the way, we are here making another morning prep video. For anyone who's new to the channel, I kind of just every other day or so I kind of sit down and try to get a video for you guys where I do a morning prep, right? I want to go ahead and show you guys how I get ready to trade the market today, right? What levels I find and how I get them on there, and then basically how I would use some of them levels in day trading, right? I am a day trader, so I'm looking for trades that I can get in and get out relatively quickly, definitely by the end of today. Get in today, get out today, right? So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, man, stick around. You might learn something. If not, it's all good, man. No problem this way, right? So with all that out of the way, let's get right into it, okay? So we always do our prep videos. We always like to start on the daily because we like to see the overall picture, right? We want to see where we're at in the grand scheme of things, right? The bigger picture. So off rip, I can tell that, you know, we can see we're right here and we're on a 2 going down. The one thing that I really am looking for, like the first thing I'm gonna look for when I hop in here on the daily, is I'm gonna look at the candle for today and compare it to this one, which would be Friday's, but you know, yesterday's candle for tomorrow. But anyway, the previous candle, right? And I want to see if this candle is an inside one. Is it a 2 up, 2 down, or are we on a 3 bar, right? So for those who don't know, inside one would mean that the lower and the higher end of this candle did not breach the high or the low of the one previous to it, right? So the high and the low would have been lower and higher than this. And then a 2 bar is just where one side of this candle breached a previous high or low, right? So this candle, the low of this candle definitely got lower than this one, so that makes this a 2 down. So we take that. And you know, it's not a giant piece of information. It's not something that goes, oh, you know what, we're bearish for today, right? But it definitely does give me a little bit of a let's say bearish vibe, right? Just off rip, we know that this is a 2 down. Definitely more selling than buying going on right now, right? And that's just off first glance, right? We just opened this. I'm just seeing, you know, what we're looking like right now. I'm also peeping that we're in between 2 of our levels, right? I have a level at 3900, 3908 really, and then I have another level at 3838. So I'm peeping that we're in between this, so we definitely could range in between these levels and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just on the daily, I'm not seeing a whole lot right now. I definitely do some like Fibonacci levels here and there, but I just don't think that they're not too crucial to the video right now. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday I looked around, I did some of this already. I mean, it's not, there's not that much really to look at in terms of the fibs, right? But yeah, we'll move on from there, right? So on the daily, I'm really just looking for like any patterns that stand out, and then of course I'm looking at today's candle to see what it's like compared to the previous one, right? So yeah, nothing really too much to talk about, go into here on the daily. We're gonna drop down and go down to the 4 hour right there, and then on the 4 hour I'm gonna go ahead and try to find some of my levels for you guys, right? So as I mentioned in like 2 videos ago, 3 videos ago, I was gonna start doing the morning prep a little bit different. What I used to do is the levels would already be on my chart, and then I would just talk about them. So you guys would see the levels that I have, and then I would just, you know, start talking about those levels. What I do now is that the levels that we have up are from Friday. So on Friday I put these levels up. I have not changed them. I have not done anything to move these around. So I want you guys to be able to see, and I'm gonna drop this to the 30. It's actually easier for me to just get all these levels on the 30. Then I'll go back up to the 4 hour. What we were going to do on the 4 hours, look for any pivots or anything like that. That's what we do on the 4 hours. So let me go here and actually add. So extended hours makes it a lot easier to get some levels on here, okay? So let's start with let's grab yesterday's high of day. Just bear with me here for a second. If I edited these videos, This would be where like I edited me moving all the levels, but I mean, you could fast forward this part, you could speed the video up. This is really why I used to get the levels before I started recording, right? But you know, I just, you know, my cousin was letting me know that it might be a little bit helpful to actually watch these levels get grabbed. I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence here. They're not hard though. Like, to get these levels, they're not hard. Look, yesterday's high of day. Okay, here's Friday, our previous day. You go to the high of that day, and there's that level. We have yesterday low of day, right? So we're gonna take yesterday's low of day right here. That looks like the low right there. And there you have it. These price levels, the ones that just say price level, I'm gonna go ahead and erase them. These are just like levels that throughout the day as I was trading, I put the line on there because I was watching that level just intraday wise, right? It wasn't a very significant. It wasn't like a yesterday's high, previous, you know, it wasn't like an overnight level or anything like that. So we don't need them right now. We'll get rid of this pivot here. Actually, since the pivot hasn't been hit, I'm going to leave that there at 38.37. Alright, so we got yesterday's high of day, yesterday's low of day. Now we've got the overnight low. Let's grab that. We know overnight low is right there. I need it perfect. I need it to be right on there. Alright, we got the overnight low right there. And let's go get the overnight high. It's clearly right there. Get on there. Alright. Overnight high, Friday high, and then we have Friday low, overnight low. So that's 4 of our most important levels, really. Next is value area low and value area high. So what I'm going to do for that is we're going to go into studies. We're going to add our studies here. We have our volume profile set, ready to go. Alright. Now that we have our volume profile up, we can go ahead and grab our value area low right here. And then as you see this yellow highlighted area on this volume profile, the entire area is our value area. 70% of trading that day took place in this area, right? So that's why that's our value area. We're going to go ahead and put that at the value area low, right? That's the bottom of this value area. So that's the value area low. We'll take it from this previous value area and we'll go ahead and put that. And it's kind of hard sometimes to get this right on that yellow line, like right where the yellow is, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to see sometimes, right? Like this has to be a little lower right here, and at least for me. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself here. Okay, value area high right around 38.88. Value area low 38.60, 61. Okay, now let me just remove the studies real quick. And there you have it, guys. Those are all the levels that we watch every morning before the market opens, right? And then obviously we're using these levels as the market is open, right? So these are all the levels that are going to determine when and where we get into some trades. Now there's gonna be more throughout the day. If I see some intraday levels set up, right, then that's where you see those where I'll put like a random line and it'll just say price level. Like that's just me putting lines where I see like potential pivot points or anything like that, right? So this is how you know, pretty simply we grab our main levels: the overnight high, the overnight low, previous day high, previous day low. Those are the main 4. Well, definitely should have those 4 at least. If you want to get value area high and value area low, I found that those are useful as well. Very important, at least in my trading, but not you know, not a necessity, right? Not even the 4 levels that I just said, the overnight levels and the P-day levels. Yeah, I mean, I use them in my trading, and I'm sure that there's more people that use it in their trading. But I mean, long story short, if you didn't want to use them, I'm sure you could find a different way to trade where you didn't need these levels, right? Whole lot of ways to get into this, whole lot of ways to trade, whole lot of different strategies. Just kind of showing you guys how I prepare for the morning, all right? So here's all our levels, and actually I'm gonna go back up to the 4 hour like I was telling you guys, so we could see if there's any pivots, right? I like to find 4 hours. I like to find pivots on the 4 hour time frame, right? So what I mean by pivots is, as you can see right here, if price started to move up, we have potential areas where we'd want to scale out, and that's a little too dark so you can't even see that. But what I meant was I was trying to highlight the overnight high, yesterday's high, and value area high. This is a clear wall of resistance on the way up, and then our value area low, yesterday's low of day, and overnight low, a clear support on the way down, right? But what if we didn't have these levels here? What else, where else would we be looking to get out of a trade or whatnot, right? So for example, if we crossed below the overnight low, when you look to the left, there's no kind of target here, obviously, right? You keep on going, there's no target until you get over here. And on the 4-hour time frame, we see that in pre-market, and even not just pre-market, on this day right here, so on 7/18, this area where we have this dotted blue line that says pivot with a question mark, it seems like a pretty decent pivot, right? Price got below it, but then it came back up and we closed. And then all of the overnight activity, this line served as support. Held it as support, flew up, never looked back since, right? As you can see, again, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to just keep going. Ain't never looked back. Here we are just recently revisiting these levels down here, right? So that is how we find that pivot on the 4-hour. 38.37 seems like a decent pivot. And I put a question mark there because I'm not sure. You know what I mean? It's just somewhere I believe where there would be a pivot. So if I were to go short now, now that we found that on the 4-hour, I'm going to go back to the 30-minute, right? But if I were to go short today, right? If I were to go and grab some puts when we cross the overnight low, then if I wanted to hold my entire position, right here is where I would look to get out, right? If I wanted to trim, then I would trim some here. But all I'm trying to get at is you want to go to the 4-hour. I mean, and again, any time frame you want. I like the 4-hour. I like using the higher ones to get like a pivot, right? So like you could even use the 1-hour if you wanted. I just like the 4. But go in there and find areas where you would either A, trim some of your position off, or B, get out, right? This is an area I expect price to come down, hit that, and bounce off even just a little bit, which is why I would trim some here or just get out completely depending on what I see with internals and everything else. But just kind of, trying to kind of drill in there that you need to have an area on the chart where you would get some of your position, you'd trim some off or you'd get out, right? Or else you end up holding on to winners that end up turning into losers if you don't do that, right? So just showing you guys where we found that pivot on the 4-hour. And then now let's get into our 3 questions that we ask ourselves every morning with our ES here, okay? So question number 1 is always going to be, where's price trading at right now, right? So where we're trading currently, where's price at in relation to the previous day range, right? So what we want to do is we want to find the trading range of Friday. So if you see right here, I'm starting on the Friday high of day at 38.95, and I'm going to go to the Friday low of day and just draw a box right there. Here's our range from Friday, right? This is the entire range on Friday. You can see that we're in that range right now. We did test a little bit above the range, and then we did test a little bit below the range, but nevertheless, right now, as it sits, we're in that range. So the answer to this question would be more like a balanced day. So I like to write these answers in my notebook. That's why when I say like the answers to these questions, it's either going to be like an arrow up, right? Are we opening in a gap up? It's going to be an arrow down. Are we opening in a gap down? Or it's going to be a balanced day, like a squiggly line like this. We're right in the middle. Now, we can obviously say that inventory was all over the place, right? We had some up here, then we pushed all the way down. This inventory right here may need to be, corrected and whatnot. And we'll talk about that in more detail, I guess, in this next question right here, right? So question number 1, balance, right? We're within the range, okay? The overnight range, so same thing, grab the overnight high, drag it all the way down to the overnight low. It's down here. And then there's our range for the overnight low. Where is price trading at right now in relation to this range? Definitely headed towards the middle. But we can see that this sell-off right here has not been corrected, right? All these shorts right here, loading up for shorts or people just playing shorts and whatnot. Again, I'm not an expert at this part yet. These 3 questions, I'm still kind of learning myself. But this typically will want to be corrected, right? All this activity, if these people are proven wrong, right? Anyone who's loading up shorts around here, expecting the market to open and kind of just maybe continue to push down, when markets start to go up and these people start to close, that should push all this up, and then we should correct this movement down. Overall, what I would answer this question, instead of a straight arrow down, I'm gonna give it kind of like a slanted arrow down, because we're not opening in a at the very bottom, right? We're not opening like right here tapping it. We're kind of headed up, but we do have all this activity kind of coming down, so a little bit bearish, more bearish than bullish, obviously, right? If it was more bullish, we'd be up here somewhere. Just saying. So question number 2 gives us that answer, a little bit more bearish than bullish, and then this gives us balance. Right now, question number 1 is the one that kind of, now I'm sorry, the reason we ask these questions, guys, we want to know if at 9:30, when the bell rings, when the market opens, is there a possibility for us to get into some plays, right? Or should we sit back and be patient? When you get question number 1 start off as a balance day, that kind of gives you the overall answer. I should probably just be more patient at open, because no one's going to come to the desk today after Friday, right? If they initiated shorts right here, or if they went long right here, either way, they're not far off from where they entered, right? If you went long here, yeah, sure, you're down, but you're not all the way down here, opening in a gap down, and extremely hurt. You're a little hurt, sure, but not that bad. And if you went short right here, you're up, but you're not hella up, right? It's not crazy, right? So you might not want to take your profits here. You might be expecting this to keep going. So what we're trying to get at is that when this is a balance day, no one at the desk when the market opens is going to feel like they need to do something, right? If you went short here and price was all the way up here, you'd be way underwater and you would feel like you need to get out of that, right? So you need to start selling, and you were wrong, get out. That is what moves the market right at open, when there's a lot of people that were either wrong, and then of course you got a lot of people that were right. Dumb people taking action at the bell is what gives us some possibility to also take some action at the bell, right? So hope that kind of explained why we asked the 3 questions. If you guys want more depth in that, I am going to make a video probably this upcoming weekend, kind of going over how I trade, right? It's everything I use, all the indicators, which is not much. I don't use that many indicators, but like all of, like literally everything, the market profile, volume profile, everything I'm watching, and why I watch it, and what I do when I see what I see and whatnot. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, yeah, stick around. That'll probably be out this coming weekend, right? So let's move on to question number 3 though. Question number 3 is, what you want to do is you want to grab where price close on Friday. So I'm just going to draw that line right there, and then we're going to color that. We're going to make sure that one's yellow so it sticks out. And how much activity took place above versus how much activity took place below, right? This is obviously about 95% activity took place down here, and only like 5% took place up here. That's what I would give it, 95 against 5, right? And this question is going to tell us that the overnight inventory was net short, right? Most of the inventory, most of the people in the overnight session were going short. They were just pushing price down. And that gives us another, like, actually, well, this doesn't give us an arrow, right? The answer for this question would be 90% short, 95% short, 5% long, whichever you want, 90-10, 95-5, whatever. But we know that the activity took place definitely on the short side, right? This inventory was they were all going short. So that's why we say that this would need to be corrected if something like, let's say, this level at 38.70, right? Let's say this level right here, some shorts added, right? As soon as we cross above that and these people start feeling like, okay, maybe I was wrong, they close. Them closing pushes price up a little bit more, and obviously just price action itself starts to go up, and then we cross this level. Well, what happens when people initiated shorts right here? They also want to close. They were wrong. And that's just kind of the whole, the way the snowball will roll, right? These shorts get taken out, these shorts get taken out, these shorts get taken out, and then these shorts get taken out, and that's not saying that's what's going to happen, right? We're not saying price is going to do something like this. You know what I mean? But it's a possibility, right? But I just want you to understand how this works, right? The fact that all these people were going short overnight, if they are proven wrong early and they start closing out their positions, you have a possibility to grab some longs to the upside. Now remember, when we're watching this, when we're watching like for any gap fill, or we're watching for any price correction, any inventory correction, just watch that volume. Watch volume, price action, and make sure that they're on the same page, man. If volume and price action start to look like they're not on the same page, you've got something there, right? If price starts to fly up, but I'm watching volume just die out, then whenever we get to an area of resistance, right, we know that price was getting weaker on its way there. Once it gets there, let's say value area high is going to be our first resistance on the way up. Once we get there, this is supposed to be an area of resistance, right? This is why we have it. So if you had longs, why not trim some here or get out? And if you had volume telling you that on the way up this was getting weaker, and then you start to see some reversal candles kind of pop up, and then as we start going down, volume starts to pick up, there you have it. Beautiful setup. This run up was not going to be held because there was no volume there. The run up is just probably shorts getting covered and whatnot. And then as soon as you see a reversal and volume picks up, that confirms you should probably look to go short there. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's how we use some of these levels. And a quick explanation as to how we really use these levels. I explained this in almost all of our videos, and I really don't want to be explaining it in every video because I just don't feel like repeating myself in every video. And it also just adds like 3-4 minutes to the video, which I'd rather not have these get too long anyway. So real quick, for anyone that's new to the channel and is wondering, okay, you've got all these levels up, now what do you do with them? All right, the levels that we have, we use them, and basically all I do is I wait for price to get to one of our main levels, right? So let's say we were to open down here. Now we're at the value area low, so we know that this should play as support, right? If this was to kind of dance around, trade sideways, and then finally break below, when it breaks below, you have two options. Option one, be the more aggressive trader who just go ahead and grab a short, and obviously you can target the yesterday low of day, right? That's a nice little decent, you know, you can go from value area to yesterday's low of day, and you get that play right there. Now let's say price goes down, you immediately got your short, but then price goes up. That is why I said you have two options. Option number one is more aggressive, but it's a little more risky, right? If you break below and immediately get no acceptance down here and price goes back up, then this should technically this should run up a good amount. You know what I mean? When one side of our levels is broken, as you can see, this kind of looks like a mirror, right? Like usually looks like that. If one side is broken and failed, right? So if we went below the value area low and price failed down here and we push back up, first target would probably be value area high. Of course, we want to watch, like I said, these are pivots. After our pivots, maybe not strong enough to stop price, but definitely probably strong enough to slow price down. All I'm trying to get at is watch these areas as well. But for the most part, if one side has failed, if we were to come to yesterday's low of day and go below and it failed and went back up, yesterday's high of day would be a decent target. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not to hold your whole position, obviously, from, you know, right here all the way up there. That's 40 points. I mean, you definitely want to be trimming on the way up there, but just kind of show you guys like how we use the levels is we react based on how price reacts. If we cross below this, get something like this, and then it bounces off the value area low from the bottom as resistance and then starts to come down, then we know that this area proved to be resistance, right? We cross below it, try to come back up, play it as resistance. We can go short if we cross maybe that low right there, right? We created a low, came up, broke that low on the downside, go ahead and go short right there. Next target, yesterday's low of day, okay? And that's how we use all of our levels, all of them. If we were to open up extremely bullish and start coming all the way up, I'd be watching for a value area high to be as a rejection, right? That's how we use that level, try to go short off of it. If it goes over value area high and then proves to hold above by coming back down and staying above it and then goes back up more, then we know that value area high is a good support, and we could try to go long there using value area high as a stop loss, okay? That's kind of all I want to get into how we use our levels, guys. We react based on how price reacts at those levels, okay? Again, if you want a more in-depth version of that, I will be making a video this weekend. It is going to be probably going to be like a 35-40 minute video. I'm not going to lie. I talk a lot if you guys haven't noticed already. These morning prep videos aren't supposed to be any more than like 20 minutes, and I'm going on 25 right now. But yeah, we use these levels like that, and I will make a more in-depth video this weekend on how we just trade in general. When I usually choose to go long, when I choose to go short, all the little things that I look at, I kind of want to give it to you guys just so you know, right? So that's that. Don't forget, we do have FOMC this Wednesday, so might really be boring today and tomorrow. It's just gonna chill sideways, do nothing, we might have some action, but all I'm getting at is, remember, the market likes to chill and take a break ahead of big news, right? Everyone's gearing up, everybody's loading up. No one wants to be on the wrong side of the trade early, so for the most part, people might just chill and sit back and wait. All right, so keep that in the back of your heads. Don't force any trades. You don't have to trade every day. You don't have to trade every trade setup that you see. Getting those A+ setups and getting in on those, even if you're wrong but you knew that it was an A+ setup, you aren't going to feel as bad. Like if you were to get into a trade that you knew was a C setup and then you lose, you're like, damn it, I knew that was a dumb setup, I should not have got in there, or what have you, right? But that's enough for any sizing tips or anything like that. I'm gonna babble on and make this video longer than it has to be. Okay, that will end our morning prep, our morning analysis. As far as me personally, I'm not looking to do too much today. Again, sideways trading probably today and tomorrow. Unless I see something that I really like, I don't plan on doing much. Hope you guys like this morning prep kind of style of video. Let me know in the comments if I need to add something, take something out, not talk as much. Definitely let me know, man. Let me know what I can do to help you guys. I like making these videos, and I'm gonna keep making them. It's just I'd like to know that they're helping, you know what I mean? But with all that blabbing out of the way, man, I love you guys, and enjoy your trading there, man. Hope you guys finish green, and if not, you finish red. Don't worry about it. We'll get them tomorrow, man. GMG, out.